Hello there, world. Oh no, I've done it again. I'm here commentating hakha3 versus phika in the Dominion League Division A for Season 61. It's going to be a moment, it appears, or an oment, rather. Yeah, so I just looked at the old current standings. I can even bring them up. I don't think you can really see this all that well, but Hakha and Negative are both tied with 15 and 9 after 4 matches. So this is an important match for Hakha as far as going into the championship match, which he's likely to reach anyway. There's a pretty big gap after them. But he can put himself in a better position. Phika, on the other hand, is fighting for non-demotion, so a strong result here can help Phika maybe pass up Terra Cubist or even potentially Tracer, since Phika still has a couple matches left. So anyway, all right, it appears that the match has begun. You have Shaman with both Lurker and Watchtower, maybe interactions. Potentially. I guess Lurker's not so likely to really interact with it, but there are some worlds where it's possible, but I guess here it's not. Here it's not really a thing. Excuse me. But Watchtower, if you have it in your hand at the start of your turn, could do a little something. I don't know if that's going to be worth picking up a Watchtower, since that's just about all the value you can get out of it. I guess that's not entirely true. There are some ways to decrease the hand size here and then maybe draw a little bit. And of course the top decking isn't nothing, but looks like we've got Moneylender Shaman openings for both players. I kind of expect someone to pick up Pageant, since the 3s aren't so terribly great. Getting some coffers to hit the 4s and 5s instead is maybe nice. So Phika does pick up Pageant with a coffer, whereas Hakha opted for the Watchtower, which can as mentioned, can block the Shaman gain, which is nice. How much that will matter only time will tell. I mean, ultimately, you're going to probably want a bunch of governors. May get a chance to do a commerce, not sure. That's not so terribly likely, actually, but I guess Shaman could boost it. I mean, you might get a 3-pop commerce isn't so hard to do. That's not unreasonable. So here Hakha does get to block. That's nice. And also, I mean, this is basically the ideal Watchtower draw there, and the Watchtower didn't find either of the other terminals either, so that was basically best case scenario for the Watchtower. It's just still a little awkward, right? Your 3s are not a particularly good buy here. Caravan Guard's okay. You can always just keep going into debt with more Overlords, but at some point that becomes, you know, much slower than just being able to buy Governors outright. Maybe Hakha would take the Pageant now. Seems possible. It's like kind of marginal, but so is like a Caravan Guard, so silver maybe. does opt for the second overlord, so we are kind of gonna find Hakha in this debt loop. You kind of have to. Well, the order here isn't so clear, but you're gonna probably play one of the overlords as a royal galley. I mean, it's not like you have to, but it seems relatively likely. Yeah, and so you do that. Yeah, I think this all makes sense. But again, this is this world where, I don't know, is Hakha just buying another overlord? I mean, if you're making enough money, you know, clearly the overlords are better than the governors as long as the governors don't run out. But this is interesting. Hakha does opt for the lurker, which they draw it here, which means they're going to play the royal gallied overlord as a lurker. And then they're going to play the other lurker here and be able to gain an overlord. And then they're getting a really nice draw here off Watchtower. They'll have plus action from the royal galley. So this is a really good turn for Hakha, especially if he finds the like the moneylender as well. But yeah, this should be a lurker, trash overlord, gain overlord. You can top deck overlord as well. Really, really nice. Right now, Hakha does look like he's just kind of outplaying phika across the board. Goes straight for governor, which is interesting. And surely incorrect. Like, I don't... It's gotta be wrong. Unless you're really worried the governors are gonna empty before the game ends. Then it's not... Then it's fair. I'm not sure that is necessarily the case. I mean, I think obviously if you start gaining a bunch of governors, then you're going to rush that down. But I can imagine a world where we get through the provinces before the governors go, just via overlording. But anyway, if you think you're going to slam a bunch of governors now, then yeah, taking governor there makes sense, because otherwise it's just crippling your overlords for no benefit. But again, that's kind of tied into the decision that was made as well. So if you just take an overlord, then the governors are still at 6 or whatever. It's not quite as imminent of an issue. And certainly 3 overlords is still going to be okay, even if you end up with 4 governors or something, just because royal galley is still quite good. But anyway, I think this is totally reasonable. I'm not doing such a good job following phika. The trashing difference is pretty huge. I mean, the Watchtowers have blocked 3 cards now, which is a big difference in trashing. They're gonna royal galley governor, which I think is good, of course. Didn't find the lurker, which is a pretty unfortunate. And there's not... I don't know if this trashing gets you small enough. I mean, you can get to the other lurker, but you won't have a... you won't have a... you wouldn't have the pair of overlord to do it. I kind of do think the second Watchtower was maybe a little greedy. I don't know. I mean, if you had a caravan guard here, this would actually have looked a little different as far as what you could have done. You would have been able to lurker, royal galley lurker, or whatever. So now you can't really... Paisan overlord, okay. So this is weird to me now. Now you're buying overlords, but before you didn't want to gain one off the lurker. That's strange to me. Anyway, I don't get it, but it's not going to be a huge deal either way. Hakha's so clean. Phika not terribly unclean, but Definitely a big gap. You can also hear, I mean, another thing Hakha can do with the lurker besides just gaining things directly is do like governor remodels on watchtowers. This is cute. This is quite a cute play by Hakha here. Hakha gets to trash the watchtower and then will regain it on their turn via shaman. That's pretty cute. So yeah, like neither player is rushing down the governors. They seem satisfied to just play with the overlords. So that does, again, kind of doesn't jive with Hakha taking that first governor off lurker, but I don't think it's trivial to play this out, but Hakha should have like a definitive advantage here. One bad thing about trashing the watchtower to gain Royal Galley is you don't have access to the you're gonna have to play this watchtower for draw, so you don't really have access to remodeling anything off governor and gaining it back at this point. Well, at this point in the turn, you can do it later. Certainly it's safe to like play lurker. Yeah. Royal Galleon lurker is of course maybe a little scary, but I mean, worst comes to worst, you just shove like a shaman in there and who cares? And you really shouldn't have much risk of not finding the another overlord to make use of it. Hakha could even remodel into another lurker if they wanted to right now. It is nice that having lurkers in your deck does prevent the opponent from being able to do the like do the stuff. And I guess just even having overlords may discourage that, depending on what you're trashing. Like if you trash Royal Galley to a governor remodel to gain a governor, you might be giving your opponent a Royal Galley for that very turn. Anyway. Oh. Governor, what do you do here? Do you just gain another gold, draw, and then like do a remodel? I think Hakha now, as Hakha gets to, I mean, maybe you don't do the remodel yet because you don't want to give them a gold. I'm not sure. You're going to end up giving each other some golds. That's not a huge deal. But you do have to find some point to take provinces. I think what's maybe a little awkward for Hakha is they don't have super great ways of gaining governors. I mean, the lurkers do an okay job of it, but does go ahead and move it. So this will just be a governor buy along with the province gain. Goes ahead and moves into. So as the last action here, I don't know if okay, like phika could blow up the Royal Galley now. and it would be okay because you're going to get it back. And you do have the action to the shaman can trash your copper, and then you can play your watchtower. Probably the overlord gets played as governor for a gold game before anything else happens with the watchtower, if I had to guess. I guess the thing that did happen by doing the royal galley trash is that then it'll be Hakha that gets the gold back, not phika getting the gold, which is pretty okay overall. And then Hakka's gonna empty the governors with that. That was fortunate to have that moneylender in hand at that point. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty tough because Hakha probably can do 3 or 4 on his turn. Maybe not 4. But like phika doesn't have threat to come back with 4 or anything, so or even really 3. So it's, you know, if Hakha even just gets 2 here, that'll be totally fine. You'd be able to royal galley a bunch of governors, and so I don't think they may. I guess you could overlord as watchtower here. I mean, that's okay. I mean, it's good for draw. It's extremely good for draw. You can basically empty the hand before you did it. It's a little village. I think I would have done it, seen the rest of the deck actually though, because I think you're going to have more overlords than you know what to do with as royal galleys. Maybe that's not true. But the watchtower could have been a draw 6 watchtower. Anyway, this would be okay too. I don't know why that overlord wasn't royal gallied to play one of those governors, or play the second governor rather. The first one was, or even at least the shaman. You can do those overlord royal galley chains, are kind of funny. I don't know exactly how that works, but I mean, I guess it just works how you'd think. Then that overlord gets played next turn as well as being used for some kind of royal galley effect. Does it net you action? Like, is it plus action to some degree? I mean, more than the royal galley normally is. The overlord gets to do 2 things, right? I'd have to think about it. Someone should tell me. Because the overlord that also you can still play it the next turn. Anyway, so Hakha gets 2, which seems fine. Phika's not doing 4. And now phika can't really take provinces without just very good chance of the game just ending right then and there. I'm assuming phika can't do 4. Maybe that's not true. Okay, getting duchy. 4 still beats this, so I don't actually see much point in getting the duchy. Because the triple province still beats it. You're not getting... I mean, I guess if you're playing for hoping to get another duchy trash somehow across this, but... Or fairgrounds maybe is possible. Hakha more or less has it in hand at this point. Because there are a couple governors set aside. So that's 2 of the provinces, and then, like... Yeah, this is super over. Unless there's a win that I'm not seeing, but... Otherwise, it's super, super over. Could get a... Maybe we'll see a journeyman gain just for style. With the lurkers. I don't think... This is like all of phika's governors. Or close to it. There might be one more. So the multi-province thing is just not there. This was actually a really cool board. This was one of those shaman boards that was just super nice, where the shaman effect has like cool card interactions and isn't just a thing you have to slog through. Okay, so there's this governor. I wonder if what does Hakha? I think Hakha can actually win just in Royal Galley land. Because there's golds in the trash, right? Yeah, so you can top deck a gold from Shaman gain. You can play Overlord as Royal Galley or Journeyman or whatever to draw it. Or you could play like some governors and then Overlord as Wash. I mean, there are a number of cards that draw. Anyway, any of the draw cards can give you that gold, and then you have 3 governors set aside for remodeling. And you can just end your turn after exiting the start of your turn phase. We'll see if Hakha does it. I think that's the most stylish. That's my opinion. There's not more governors in here. Maybe there are. There's one. So it was kind of, you could kind of squint and see the finish for phika, depending on the draw order. Because there were enough governors probably to get it done. So maybe if the watchtowers can be set up to draw a little more. I don't really know what the money lender gain was for, but whatever. I guess cash money. May have just been the only thing in there that they felt like. But I don't know, did you need that? Right now you're plus like $2 or $3 on cash. You're just short. Well, more than that, but like assuming you had 2 governors. I don't know what the last 4 cards are. One of them must be province. Probably some silvers. I think phika's kind of, clicking the cards, but there's not an outright. I mean, unless not even that, then you're short money. No, you're not short money. I mean, I guess if the top card is a governor, but I don't think they have 5 governors. I could be wrong. If the top card is a governor, it is possible. I mean, if the top card is governor, it just works, but But this super doesn't work. What do? You just buy a fairgrounds? Yeah. All right, let's see if Hakha does the thing I want Hakha to do. The most important question. They kind of did it. They didn't resolve the shaman thing first. They drew their goal with journeyman, but it wasn't one that they guaranteed top deck from shaman stuff. This is immoral. To play this governor for draw is okay. They didn't do something super bad. They didn't keep clicking governors. I guess actually, maybe it's kind. Maybe I'm the one who's mistaken. Because the remodel forces another click on your opponent, but the draw and buy does not. So I'm taking that back. Hakha was better than I was in that he didn't force phika to make a click for the remodel. So that's on me. I shouldn't have said that Hakha was immoral. Hakha took the higher road. Better consideration strategy. All right. Exploration. Sort of a pageant-esque project. Both have some similar vibes. We do have Necromancer Experiment, which can be a good time. Hopefully they get into that. It's just always fun to do, even if it's not helping you more than them. A lot of times, though, there is some asymmetry in that situation where putting the experiments in the trash is way better for one player versus the other, and then that person steamrolls a little bit. I'm trying to think. You can do big conquests, and then if you have enough draw, you can just forge them all away into nothing. You can just kill, if we get enough of the experiments in the trash, like all of them, you do a big conquest, and then the next turn you forge every single silver, and then do it repeat. But what are you paying for the conquest? That's a good question. There may not be enough draw here to really embrace that aspect, but it would be really funny. There's some stuff here to accelerate just kind of running through the provinces pretty fast, which makes the conquest stuff a little less appealing. But if he can get it big enough, of course the conquest can outscore anything. I need to remember, I never do this, but since they haven't started yet, really, so bring up the kingdom view so people can see the cards if they're not familiar with them. I'm just a very bad video maker for new people and old people, but specifically new people, especially new people. All right, those are the cards. Now I'm closing it. Speak about a cargo ship. Hakha's gonna also, well, Hakha has the 5-2, so that 5-2 sucks. Well, I guess it's not as big a deal because there's Baker. It's still not like great because the 5s aren't good in the opening. But you don't get punished by whiffing a buy, you just lose the coffer. I don't know if they'll pick up exploration or not because the villagers aren't impactful, and sometimes that is a nice angle on exploration. Like you take it to the start and then you can be a little loose, fast and loose with your terminals for a little bit. Hakha goes with the festival, which I don't particularly like. Festival is just kind of crappy. Most all the time, but I think here as well. I mean, it looks worse than most of the 4s. Probably all the 3s. I don't know about Vassal, but it's maybe worse than all the 3s actually. Anyway, I'm not a fan. Oh, second festival. Are they gonna try Jack? That would be funny. These are not good draws for Hakha though, to be fair. You don't want these split money, or you don't want these super low and then high. They both believers in the Jack, I guess. I think it's fine. I don't know. It's still bad order to have 2 festivals in deck before like rope or something. You've got to get rid of. You've got to trash coppers somehow. So, I mean, I guess you can wait for a forge, but your forge isn't. There's no particular reason to expect your forge to be very good. I mean, it might be okay, but anyway, I'm not a huge fan, but maybe it'll work out. What do you do? Like double experiment as Hakha? I don't know. Baker. Oh, Hakha had enough for the forge there. Okay. Hakha could have known that as well, which is something. So, like, if Hakha here draws the forge off a festival into Jack thing, maybe we have some movement then. So you can trash, and it's nice you actually kill the estate. You'd rather have like the experiment or the cargo ship or the vassal than the baker or the other festival, I think. So it was, I think, Hakha was pretty quick to click the estate though, so Hakha wasn't even really considering it. And I'm not super sure, but there's no way. I don't believe it. I don't believe not trashing copper here is worth the 3. There's no chance. I don't believe it. I disbelieve it. That's not how that works. I don't know. Why do you buy a forge? Not convinced. Obviously, there's like I mean, if all of the 4 of the experiments stack together in the hand, then Hakka's listening in. I guess the allure of the villager is what ultimately made Hakha come back for it. I don't know. Anyway, they did what I wanted, so that's cool. These decks are weird. Maybe it's the best thing, but right now they're kind of all over the place. There's definitely something to be said for building because of conquest. I can believe that. See now, yeah, look at this forge. This forge is garbage. Oh no, they had a festival or Jack cargo ship. I missed that. This forge is great. What are you talking about? I think you try and draw because you have experiments, so I think you play the Jack. You play the Jack, you're gonna see 2 cards, or really 3 kind of, and then if they're experiments, you know, you get to try and filter up, and yeah, it's fine to play the other Jack. You could have tossed it too. This is interesting. Well, okay, they have villager, so I'd have to think about this one harder. It certainly on face looks reasonable, but you maybe are missing out on some copper trashes via that. Maybe take curse over copper. Who took copper? Oh, for the forging. Yeah. I don't know how much it'd be kind of hard to figure out whether it's like, whether it matters even, actually. But it's got to be pretty, it's certainly something you could do. It's got to be pretty close, though. Second forge. Does Hakha really have the support for that? They do have one villager, which is gonna... Well, no, one villager doesn't really rescue you here in any meaningful way. Or in any way at all, I guess is the better way to put it. You would need a festival, and then you could... Well, yeah, you still just need a festival. Jack Festival, I mean, I'm sorry, but Jack is just terrible for the Draw to X kind of stuff. It's so bad. Maybe it's the best thing to do here, but it's gonna always be awkward. So the silver gains and the just 5 cards is just doesn't cut it for putting these kinds of decks together unless you're extremely clean. And of course the Jack itself is always going to counteract the cleanliness a little bit. Having watched it through turn 11, at this point I'm thinking I'm trying to just be rope necromancer with experiments in the trash guy and not festival Jack guy. This is how I'm feeling having watched it played out. Because you can certainly build a pretty big vassal thing, for instance, or whatever. I mean, a lot of ways to make money. Phika's diving in. You're not going to do it again, though, because you have the cargo ship, I think. I guess you could. It seems like slightly early to me. Maybe a little more than slightly, but... Hakha has another garbage hand. Which I'll go ahead and say it. I think he deserves it. All right, so Phika is like, we're gonna do provinces and be done with this game. Hakha is gonna have to play probably towards the conquest stuff. Phika's gonna run the provinces will probably be down to 3 at the end of the next turn. Well, Phika's not gonna have a huge amount of money, to be fair, so maybe not. In the next hand, they can forge or something, but it does sort of feel like Phika's maybe needed one more turn to set up a little bit. But see what Hakha can put together. This is nice. This is super nice for Hakha. Last card's another forge. The second forge is I still don't know what that's for. But you know, I guess they're gonna get to use it. I mean, they get to use it here. I would get a cargo ship, I think. You really want... So they're just going for the conquest right now. Okay. Just doing the conquesting. If you forge a silver into silver, you can buy 1 fewer conquest. But yeah. So what are they at now? 1, 2, 3. So the first conquest is 5. So it's 5, 7, 9. $21 points. You do just take the point lead right off here. Now, then you're back to just probably buying provinces because you're going to have 10 silvers in your deck. 9 silvers. I probably would have waited another turn. Certainly forged silver into the silver makes it look like Hakha's ready to conquest right now. I would have cargo shipped there and probably set up for one more turn. You have no rush on this thing is the thing. I mean, phika's not getting 5 provinces for a while. You're going to have turns. Having thought a little bit more about the state of phika's deck. So I don't particularly like pulling the trigger on the conquests right now, but okay. Interesting. They opt for the killings. I do think you could have, yeah, I don't know. Would they have had enough to buy like a jack if they had kept if they got a cargo ship from one of those? You could have trashed this 2 silvers into like a secret passage or necromancer. Okay, having seen this, which I don't think is crazy, I would have played it a little bit differently. Yeah, but if you're doing this stuff, why not get cargo ship from the first forge? You can still do 2 conquests, and you can forge the 2 silvers into like secret passage or necromancer, and then you can buy 2 conquests and a jack or something and have something cargo shipped. Jack or secret passage or necromancer. And you score. Oh yeah, my bad. Okay. It's still pretty similar, but yeah, you're right. You score 2 less points. Do you get it? Goes for the silver. I do still like cargo shipping something, and I don't think I'm coming back from that. Why is a festival? Why did we could buy a festival? The thing I don't like about the conquesting then is that you didn't actually pass anybody in points, and your deck still died. So, this is I'm a little hindsight. I know it didn't die, but you didn't have a great turn. I mean, this turn you could pass in points, but not by a huge amount. I don't hate it, but I'm not coming around. I still think you just play for a bigger conquest. There's so much stuff here that you can add that is just like super safe. So what's the, I don't know. You can go more controlled. It's fine, but you lost your villagers on that last turn. Is there any world where phika can triple with a mill? If you set aside coppers or something? You'd have 4, but nah, they're not gonna have 12. Still may be a consideration though to buy coppers, because shuffling again isn't that likely. I'm gonna say the deck sort of died. Sort of died. Phika's only way out is through. You've got to do it. You just got to buy the province. There's no other. I think it's fine to set aside the coppers. Just province double copper. You've got no other choice. You've got to empty the provinces. Your deck's terrible. No. You can't do this. It doesn't do anything for you. It's so bad. I don't believe in it. Hakha did find the festival, which was really nice. And not that likely. I mean, they have quite a few festivals. Well, no, they both have 4, don't they? Now these points are too much. Oh well. Yeah, I do like. I mean, Hakka's just playing right now. Hakka is just playing with more of the boards than phika, which is big deal on these engines. I say that, I mean more of the board, certainly in the lurker game, but what do we got? Crafters Guild. I don't even know if it's the correct deck, but it was built up at least. It was correct deck adjacent at the very least. If you're going to do the provinces, you need a clear path to emptying them. Okay. There's a lot of trashing and junking. Decent amount of draw, but not super wild payload. You can get free mountain villages and hostelries if you take some guild masters. There's some reasonable stuff to do on mission turns. Enhance, pretty nice. Nobody bought Sentry yet, which I think is maybe a little weird. I mean, of course, it's like a race. You could be the person with someone could get the trashing and trash quick, or someone can get the cultists and junk quick. It's not you don't actually know when you're buying that first 5 which end of it you're going to end up on. The nice thing about the cultists you can say is that it does yeah, there's cemetery. The cultists do let you do cemeteries, which are kind of nice. Are they going for a hostelry here rather than another cultist? Or are they going to go back and get the cultist? What's it going to be? Going back, looks like. Or I guess at some point you could get the sentry, but... Well, there are a lot of good 5s, truth be told. Rune Library does unlock a 4, which is... There's a pretty big gap between 3 and 4 here. So Hero Rune Library. You get an estate. Or you just get a copper. I guess you just get a copper, maybe. Well, Phika did not find... I would have played the mine, but... Hey, look, everybody's deck's bad. Now I want to see people start picking up charlatans and see if we can just have the 3 pile happen that way. The Runes Curse 3 pile. Get a 3 trash cemetery, not terrible. Could do another 3 trash cemetery. You do at some point have to have enough money to buy a 5 or 4. Actually, just buy a 4. The 4 trash cemetery, that's a little more trashing. Okay, they do have 5. Gonna do the 4 trash cemetery. Are you gonna buy a card? Probably the trash. But it could be the hostelry. It's really not like putting the hostel. I mean, just one hostelry, you can get lucky, but it's not even. If you buy one hostelry and then you add in another 5 that's terminal or something, you still don't just have some super nice odds of having the good thing happen. It's still pretty awkward. Woohoo, we can trash. This is what Sentry was designed to do. To make you furious. The ghost is probably good enough to not want to just kill this. I don't. So they're playing for what? An enhance? They're gonna get a ghost via enhance. Wait, what? 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 What are they doing? So confused. I'm confused about phika, to be clear. Trash cultist in a cemetery. Enhanced. I don't know. Dude, just buying a platinum would be actually like super good. Can't afford it, but it would be real good. What the world needs is more cemetery buys. All right. Hakka's gotten some horses. This is not so bad. You're maybe draw a couple horses dead or whatever here, but you can enhance one of them. Yeah, so unfortunately, Hakka already has a sentry, so the charlatan is just terrible. I think. Not very good anyway. When do you take the figurine? When do you take Guildmaster, Highwayman, or whatever? This next hand is like there are a couple horses, but it's like hostelry horse, cemetery. Hostelry horse. Okay, Hakka does go for the Guildmaster. I'm fine with Guildmaster. We can make that work. Okay, this is nice. Go ahead and play the sentry. Maybe you'll get the hit. You don't have any way to control it, so you just have to go for it at some point. You could do your ghost here. Or you can get your figurine. You're going to be able to top deck Hostelry or Mountain Village or whatever. Going for the big favor situation. So we're just going to have the favors now forever, basically. Need like a canal really badly. Then Hakka would be in business. Unfortunately, the fours are just okay. I mean, they're good. Free four is great. Yeah, sure. What are we gonna buy? Guildmaster? Okay. Someone's got to get a figurine sometime. I think. This is nice. You can put the curse in the trash, and then if you draw deck, okay, to be fair, it's not that great just because drawing deck isn't like that likely. Not that it's impossible, but so it's not going to happen here, but there was a world where it was a cute little interaction where it allows you to put the curses in your starting hand in the trash to get hit by the sentry. Didn't pan out. Surely you buy a figurine. If you're going to do all this drawing and junk, you need to buy. Otherwise, you might as well just go into get a platinum and buy colonies. What's the angle? I'll die if Hakha just buys another hostelry. Okay, there we go. They again have the option, and with much better chances here, I'll mention, to get the like a double curse trash or for sure one. I guess the issue is that the horse is in there, so the double isn't super likely, but it gives you some outs to, I mean, it gives you a chance of hitting a double curse anyways. I guess more likely at this point is that you might just end up taking a cemetery at the end of your turn with the buy. But still kind of far from guaranteed. Why play the horse first? They're playing this very quick, but all right, they get the one trash on that. I don't think they ended up wasting any horses or anything. So it all seemed fine. You could do your cemetery now if you wanted to. Excuse me. You do your cemetery and I don't know. You could do another figurine. You could do a charlatan yourself. You could do a highwayman. Yeah, that's true stuff. But it's done now. Yeah, but Hakha doesn't want to lower. I mean, truthfully, Hakha can be kind of agnostic about anything here. Hakka's going to win. But I think. But I don't think lowering is particularly any good. That aspect of it. I don't know, maybe you want a 5. Guess you can enhance for it. You probably weren't going to draw to 2, but I mean, I think you're right. I'm not sure you would have drawn to 2 good enhanced targets, but maybe. I mean, you could enhance hostelries. You don't need this many. Certainly would have been nice to play the ghost a turn sooner. Yeah, for sure. Mission looks better. These have been kind of great boards. We'll see if they can continue the streak all through all 6, but the first 3 have been lots of stuff everywhere. And different stuff, kind of weird a little bit, but phika gets a platinum. Sets aside a horse, that's nice. Gotta love that. Hakha picks up the warehouse now. Gives you some sentry. Can't they still do it if they want to? They can still mission and do it the next turn, right? If they want to try it. They can see what the ghost hits and... Oh, I guess you need... Yeah, I guess you're buy short. But how would you have gone for the win? I don't actually know who Terracubus is referring to. I guess on hostelry. I guess you could have done hostelries. What did they gain though? They gain a warehouse. So if they gained a hostelry, they could have done a win potentially. Hakha buys another charlatan. That's kind of strange. If the ghost hits charlatan, there's a win, right? If you mission and the ghost hits charlatan, there's a win. So you have like a 50-50 win. Yeah. Well, you can't call any now. You can't call any now. No, yeah. I mean, I don't like the charlatan buy. Cultist buy is weird. No, I know. I wasn't saying. I agree with you, Steph. So now phika can win. right? And it's not even that terribly hard. I mean, the issue will be the mission turn, but it's certainly possible. You can take a bunch of horses here. Go cultist mission, and then on the next turn you can take the cemetery. Yeah, the cultist buy just leaves a pile out. That was so crazy. I hope phika finds it. So here you can hostelry and discard like all the treasures. Get a bunch of horses. You trigger the shuffle, all you have to do is find the figurine and like the platinum or something, and you go mission cultist, and then the next turn enhance a couple things. You just have to refine the figurine. None of it's that expensive. You've got these terminal silver terminal golds. You're gonna be up by points just by playing the charlatan one, so you probably end up more ahead by points. By the end of it, you probably trash curse or get to play the charlatan twice. Please find it. Please find it, phika. Hakha needs to be punished for that play. Okay, I do think this is the wrong order. I think this is like noticeably the wrong order, but it'll probably be fine. They are going for it. I don't think that's how I would have tried to do it, but it'll probably work out. It is in hand. No, yes. No. So you wanted some extra horses because they were good for the enhanced stuff, and okay, so it worked out. Good, hooray. Maybe it was guaranteed to find something. It kind of looks like it was guaranteed once you had platinum figurine. I don't know what Hakha was doing. Alright, sorry Hakha if you ever watch this. That was crazy. You like had to go out of your way to... Okay, I gotta stop. I'm gonna be too mean. I gotta stop. Alright, sorry. Well, yeah. Okay, I use the word crazy as a euphemism. All right. This one, we don't have villages, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Maybe. All right, I think we did roll. We'll see what develops, but I do think we did kind of roll a dud here on game 4 after 3 nice ones. I'm not seeing the magic myself. Yeah, I think I'd rather silver maroon. This is one where hard AI would actually be scary just via black cat spam. Even though it would maybe look a little stupid, it would still be like pretty plausibly scary. Well, they're just going to top deck the count. It's not a speed. I mean, it's not over. Well, the game won't be over. They're going to play the count turn 3. There's not some super fast strat here. I don't know. I keep kind of thinking about if there's ways to do big, but if you go big, are you just exposing yourself to monkey? Do you both just end up monkeying around trying to do big things? We've got the black cat exiled. That's kind of funny, actually. Like, under the premise that the black cats get in the way until your opponent's greening, and then you buy one and bring them off the mat. That's kind of cute. I don't know if it's the thing, but it is very, at least in concept to me, pretty cute. And kind of a unique use of transport. Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't find one of the pieces with the other thing, well, I guess at this point connecting them isn't really meaningful anyway. But you're always going to have count to shuffle things around a little bit. Goes ahead and buys the candlestick maker. I guess it still hit 7 here, so. Bottom maroon. Yield maroon. What's Hakha doing here? Transports 2 black cats. Will it happen? Candlestick maroon. Maybe I'm missing something here. I'm not. I mean, I guess I understand anything can be way the horse, but. The count actually seems like a little nicer to me long term. Like, the top decking seems like there are a few angles here where it could be quite nice. Lurker. Okay. People loving the candlestick makers. And if we close our eyes, we can pretend like they're just buying ride over and over again, but Nobody really finished copper trashing. I guess they're not that far, actually. So is someone, if people are doing lurkers and stuff, is someone gonna get monkey? Guess it was just a ride. The curses are really bad here. They actually are super bad. But I do kind of think that the black cat angle is important. Oh yeah, the coppers, I don't know how many coppers they ultimately gained, but yeah, there's some things. It's just one of those where it's also, I mean, there are some nice interactions. It's just, you know, you're still going to be a little bit at the whims of, I don't know, maybe it's okay. You have so much money now. More King's Caches, okay. You just don't actually have the draw to match the payload. There's just not actually a way to get there. But, well, I mean, maybe with Monkey. But you need some help from your opponent in any case. So now Hakha gonna play King's Cache, and have $1 million and no buy. But why are the last 4 cards all candlestick makers? I mean, why? I guess quite a few of them, but this is terrible anyway. I don't know. I'm not convinced. This is wheel spinning. Why do you have 2 King's Caches anyway? Nobody got the black cats ready either. I remain unconvinced. I mean, I'll admit that it's hard to like do maybe all the things you want to do. The village restriction is pretty rough here, but I do still kind of feel like they missed the boat on either monkey or black cat. Why horse there? What is your... I don't understand why horse. You already had everything in hand. So why horse? You just lost a CSM for no reason. Hakha can double. It's a little scary though. Though phika doesn't have it in hand, the counter double. So maybe you just do it, because otherwise, what do you... I guess you can wait a little bit. You could buy another black cat. Yeah, maybe you just do province black cat. I'm not sure. Yeah, because then like if phika singles and you can double back, then you're in pretty good shape. Though I don't know what the CSM situation is exactly here. I would be happy to see the black cats making a difference. That's nice. It's a secret. You don't get to know that the other king's cash was here. This is poker dominion. Really, I don't have all my money in hand. It's next turn. You have to be afraid of me. Never mind. Just kidding. Oh, the old. Now we're gonna do Black Cat stalemates. That's fun. I'm here for it. Black Cat chicken. That'd be a good Dominion card. Phika still has nothing. Oh, goes in. Are they buying one? That's pretty scary. That's not what I would have done there. Buys a maroon. Is Hakha gonna go for it? Is Hakha gonna horse this Black Cat and then maroon eventually? Well, Hakka's just gonna make it. This is gonna be... Yeah, this is way too many cards. Yeah, at this point. It wasn't guaranteed from the start. That was kind of nice. All right, I take it back. All right, let's say we're 4 for 4. Say we're 4 for 4 on the kingdoms. This will be fine. Prepare will make it. Prepare will open it up a little bit. Well, Hakha at this point I think is more or less clinched a position in the championship match. I didn't check all the numbers, but it's got to be close there at this point. So we'll see who else joins him. Phika needs to get a few more games though to give themselves a shot. The old my opponent definitely has 2-5, so I'm just gonna open flag bearer maneuver. A classic. Doesn't really I don't know what it does for you, but it happened. Prepare. But what does it do? This is admittedly not my forte, these kinds of lines. Just to get the altar, I guess. Yeah, okay. All right. Do you get buried treasure here, or do you go straight to lab? Yeah, you are guaranteed 5. Silver over like experiment. Buried treasure. Still can't decide if buried treasure is awful. The lab's a little tough. Nice draw for Hakha. Pretty nice. Alter experiment. Guess you could prepare, alter prepare. Bum, 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 bum. Alter scouting party. It's the party. Why wouldn't you just leave Annis? No, okay. Guess not. Phika can trash flag bearer and get the flag. No, I know, Steph. I did know that only one flag bearer had been gained this game. I was making having a joke, having a lark. How many altars? Another altar? Right. Now Hakha sweeps in. Phika doesn't have a Margrave at the moment, but does get to do the thing I said now in a serious manner. People love fighting over the flag. I would simply attack them with my Margrave. I wouldn't like die over having the flag or not. I think if I were a person here. But I guess until your opponent actually has Margraves, they look a little appealing. You can prepare them. We can get so prepared. It would be nice to play the altar, which certainly points towards giving cavalry a try. I don't know what the other... It's the other card. There's like a buried treasure and a cavalry and a lab. So it was guaranteed. Which is, everybody loves that. Guaranteed hit. People have a lot of laboratories. Phika's anti-attack. Pacifist mode. Pacifist run. Trying to get those achievements. Don't you prepare this? What? They're just gonna attack you. No. No. I think I would have prepared, but like I think I would have gotten prepared ducat actually, even without the copper trash. Well. Okay, well, I'm sure Hakha will make it out fine at this point. This is going to be kind of bad enough. But nobody is super, super clean. But this just makes you dud. You gotta prepare something sometime. You gotta attack sometime. They don't believe in it. They simply don't believe in it. And look at these turns, they're awful. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could still open steward. Like, trash do estates and then, you know, move on to buying the altar or whatever would have been fine. Seven coppers, one estate. Holy cow. I mean, they are a little village. I mean, they're not probably using prepare enough, but there is a real village limitation here. But you should be able to kind of overcome it with prepare. But the laboratories are gone now. I think something like that is really good. JAH 306. I mean, it's very robust. People love flags. You can wave them around, you know, like they kind of flutter in the wind. And that's pretty good. Have bright colors. I don't think anything has to be. I mean, buys are fungible. We have to worry about primary. I mean, buy is not an issue here really. It is 3-1 in Hakha's favor. See, now they have like overdraw, but nothing to do with it. Not much to do with it anyway. This doesn't actually look as good for Hakha as maybe I thought, because they don't actually have money. And they went right into the provinces, but they don't have like double money at all. I think it's okay for phika to follow. Okay. I'd have to count Hakha's money. This flag stuff's so funny because it just doesn't really matter. The phika goes to this, but still, I guess eventually will threaten. Well, maybe not. If this last buried treasure goes, phika isn't necessarily going to threaten double very easily. Whereas, why are they playing all these labs? You're going to play the Margaret. Okay, there's enough cards. All right, that's fine. Yeah. $15. I don't know if Hakha has that either, though. What Hakha do? Guess that's a question. If Hakha has 15, then there's some scariness, maybe, but it doesn't even need 15, I suppose. So you can alter for one of them. Well, they'll need money. They'll still need 14, because if... Right. 14 if phika... But 14 still if phika takes the last buried treasure, because they'll double province. Well, they ought to anyway. I don't know, maybe they don't have double province here. If you have double province, you can't double province, so. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. You really need a double. Okay, so now the flag bearer is actually the same money and less buys. No, I'm bad at math. Anyway, the experiment path is just 12, and 12 and altar trash. Probably sunk. Probably didn't want to gain that buried treasure. Probably did want to see if there was a way to maybe just double, even if it was... I guess if you double and you don't prepare, that's pretty scary. But I would have thought about it. You would have needed to count some stuff. What is Hakha's prepare situation looking like? 2 labs. I guess Hakha could fail to draw. Probably not. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Phika's not watching the... But exact buys too, so... That was sloppy. Just the end game. I mean the end game. Well, I mean not just the end game, but that's what I'm referring to at this moment. All right. Okay. I mean, this is just like do all the things. So we'll see how this one goes. This has got to be silver maroon. 5-2, probably wharf pawn. You don't have to take the pawn, I guess. Pawn might be bad net, even though it probably is just close to whatever. Goes maroon pawn. Maybe. Phika hits a super nice reshuffle. I'm gonna give it. I think this was a clean 6 games of pretty nice Dominion boards. That's a good match. Yeah, it was a very quick maroon on 5. I don't. I mean, it's hard to be like super mad about it, but I don't think I would have bought it. Now we get a silver for our pawn, which also is probably fine, but not too exciting. Just get a silver. The 4s are kind of appealing because of butterfly, but it is true that you would have had a terminal issue there. No, you just go straight to the bazaar. You're going to run into a... See if they... Yeah, they don't see the wharf either, so... You need bazaar... Maroon, yeah. This should be... Okay, the bazaar draw there is a bummer. You got to be a little careful. This might be a nothing if you're Phika. Not totally convinced of this silver. Yeah, you're super over terminal. I mean, you can quickly become not over terminal, but... Just goes for the bazaar. I kind of like that, actually. Another bazaar. Yeah, that looks good to me. It certainly looks good on the reshuffle, but I think I like it regardless. can do specialists now. Specialists with Way of the Butterfly can be pretty cute. I mean, just thrones in general, nothing necessarily specific to specialist, but get a pawn if you want. Still, I think both decks are, well, we'll see what Hakha draws. Yeah, okay. Maybe not. I was going to say I thought both decks were maybe still competitive, but I'm not sure after the next couple turns if that'll be true anymore. You can specialist the maroon, trash and get a couple fives. Well, assuming you draw any money, but I guess if that's your only maroon, that also could be a little scary. Yeah. I could just specialist the wharf. Doesn't even get double draw. I think I'd have to know the deck better. I'm kind of thinking, I actually find it kind of hard to believe that you do want to do maroon twice. But that's fine. I don't care. I don't care if the specialist misses if I get to play the other cards that were missing the shuffle. It's gonna miss the shuffle. Or no, I guess it doesn't. I don't know what the rules are anymore, actually. Yeah, okay. So that, yeah, maybe that's better. That's probably better. There is still fear. There's still some village issues, but I was not watching Phika's turn. Certainly Specialist Wharf looked like good buys, and I didn't see everything else to know if that was like anything else missed, but does find Wharf. That's huge. That's huge. That Wharf find is actually massive. They're gonna have bought enough of these pawns that it's just like a 3 pile at the end. Which was maybe kind of likely anyway with Wharf, but this seems slower than it, or this feels like it's gone slower than it ought to have, but I'm not sure I can point to anything that was super egregious. Yeah. Maybe six silvers gained is maybe part of the issue. That would be what I would look at if I was looking at anything. This might be extremely sad. Okay, it doesn't turn out to be extremely sad. It was very close though to being extremely sad. Were there more actions in here? Yeah, action. Well, the buy probably will never matter. Are there more action? There was a bazaar. Okay. Probably would have been, well, to hit 20 is nice. I was going to say it might have been better to leave that in there, but hitting 20 is great. So. Sort of nice thing here is that you can, if you're ahead, get royal carriages as a way of increasing your pile threat without really risking lowering something else. Since it just gives you more specialist plays. I would be a little bit worried. Yeah, I was going to say, get another war for a patrol. Be a little worried about the specialist to draw ratio. Yeah, this is oh, okay. So phika should be able to, I think, pilot to a win from here, but it's not necessarily easy to do without opening up a 3 pile. Specialist stuff can be hard to count. I know what the last 3 are. Probably some coppers, but you get to gain a bazaar. Things are low. Can't really lower, actually. I mean, there probably aren't enough specialist plays, but no, actually, there probably are. I take it back. I mean, if you gotta score a little bit, I think. So unfortunately, $15 is just less than $20, which is the difference here right now. It's 3 to 4 specialists, 3 to 4 bazaars, 3 to 5 wharves. Or sorry, 4 to 3 bazaars. Because we're specialists in platinum, which of course is, you know, platinum's a great specialist target. I would be worried about a 3 pile here. You only need 3 specialists on 5 gains to get the 3 pile here. It's a little sad to be doing this in this particular order. Well, I don't know either, but they're actually going to have an action problem. I don't know why they couldn't do it. Because you can also butterfly the maroon. I think it's still possible. What are the last 2 cards? There's still another specialist down here. You can specialist, like you can play the maroon. You can specialist, play wharf, gain it, play bazaar, gain it. Yeah, this will work. This just works, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3. Maybe not, but maybe I'm miscounting the money. 1, 2, 3. I had $20 last time, but maybe that was from a bunch of bazaars played as a bunch more specialist bazaars. 5, 11, 14. Yeah, maybe not. Interesting. I do think if you stacked it, you could make it work. If you're gonna turn the maroon, you need to get like patrol or royal carriage or something. Phika definitely needs to buy colony. How many wars is Hakha getting? 3. 17. Guess they just specialist a bunch of bazaars last turn. Is that why they had so much money? They had $20, right? I'm not making that up. I think so. I think it's specialist. You can get a couple royal carriages now. You can maroon for royal carriage, you can draw it, and you can specialist it and gain 1. And then you could just like specialist silver. I don't think you want to lower the specialists. But 2 royal carriages would go a really long way to giving you the 3 pile in the next turn. Or it could anyway. And having 1 on the mat would be really nice. And maybe you have enough to go like colony patrol. We also haven't been looking, or I haven't. I don't want to speak for everybody, but looking at like the pawns. Kind of forgot about the pawns. Quite a few buys. $10, $20, and quite a bit money. Quite a bit of money. Oh, 17. Does phika have $19? 9, 17. Maybe $2 short here. Because you could maroon for a wharf, play the wharf, go specialist, gain specialist and wharf. Anyway, they're doing the royal carriage line. No. Oh, they just want silver plays? Is this enough to do something? Or are they just... What does this give you? Double colony? I mean, it definitely makes it... I don't think Hakha can pile. I guess I'd be interested in counting things to make sure to see if you could get like a patrol or another royal carriage or something and still defend against the pile out. Like if single colony was enough to protect you from that. But too late now. See, like you just have to, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure Hakha can match the points. That's not an issue. I'm super scared about phika's draws too also. Because the number of bazaars in deck is not super, super high. Hakha can for sure match the double. And there's a... That's what you think until there are 3 on the bottom. I mean, to be fair, you can get out with pawns too, but it'll cut into your power quite a bit. You can get out with a lot of things. There's lots of throne variants in the deck. No, I mean I don't think they'll actually dud, but double can Hakha do. Also as the if the game lasts a long time, Hakka's ability to add in platinums changes the threats quite a bit. Because the platinums don't, lowering the platinums doesn't do anything for the 3 pile, but it certainly increases what Hakha can do a lot. That's why I kind of like the royal carriage gain for phika. Would have liked to see more of them actually, but you'd have to count. It was not trivial to count stuff, but... And I certainly didn't do it. The maroon is also gone. So Hakka's lowering the specialists, which is interesting. And by interesting, I mean it's actually terrifying. It does get a duchy to kind of help cover that a little bit. It's still, to me, pretty scary because what it opens up, the main thing that it opens up is the estate pile out. Because it's pretty easy to empty the bazaars or the specialists and the wharfs, especially with the royal carriage. And then you just can do the estate pile out. So you don't have to worry about gaining all the bazaars. Which I imagine you can do that too, but... You can, like, even in hand right now, you can empty the wharves. And you'd love to have another specialist in hand now before you kind of start this chain, but I'm not sure it's worth like hunting for it before you go in. Okay, so now it should be just super in hand. Looks like they're going for the 5 cards pile outs. I don't think that's necessary, but it's not clear to me that it's good either, but wait. What is the situation here? 15. I guess they only need 27. But you still need to buy... What? What's left? There's a colony? This doesn't even win, does it? Does it win? How much money do they have? What about Bazaar 21? What about Estates Bazaar? Does that go? 21, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 17. Dude, this was just lazy. Yeah, you can get some more money from the pawns here, but well, from the drawing, I guess. You have to use the pawns for buys, but right, you can do specialist card buy, but then you can specialist a wharf. Well, no, there are bazaars in there, right? Three? It's specialist bazaar. It was so bad not to play specialists on the wharves. Yeah, the last card's colony. I think it's specialist bazaar. You can get 2 more bucks, actually. You can actually do it. If the specialist is bottom decked, you can win here. If you go card buy, and you play bazaar, specialist silver, that gets you 21 and 9 buys. So if the specialist is bottom decked on the reshuffle, you do have it exact, I think. But you can't take money because then you just can't pile out. Well, no, that's true. If you take money, you're okay. Because you can do 20... You can do it with 22 also. And this works. Yeah, it was 2-3 because the specialist, if you don't go for the estates, because if the specialist was in the middle, you would have also been okay. It just couldn't be top decked. That was really bad though, because you could just easily do estates like halfway through the turn with wharf gains. Or I think you could have emptied all the 5s with the wharf plays also, but oh well. They kind of lucked out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if I was too mean at any point, but I'll catch you all later. And congrats to Hakha on making the championship.